Welcome to the St. Paul Neighborhood Network's presentation of the live finish line coverage of the Twin Cities Marathon. This is the 17th running of this famed and beautiful marathon. Right now we're looking at about 50 degrees.
Expect a temperature high of about 56 this afternoon. The color flag for heat stress conditions is, and there are communications personnel in yellow shirts. Their area. Hope you have a good race and have fun.
Have a great race and we'll see you at the finish.
All right, the 17th annual Twin Cities Marathon is underway. Have a great race out there. Have a fast race. Have a fun race. Most of all, on behalf of all of us from the Twin Cities Marathon, have a safe race. Once again, thanks to Gordy Alexander from Fairview, our official starter this morning. And there's going to be volunteers from Fairview Health System all along the course. And at the finish line, we appreciate all their help. Same with 93X and, of course, Tough Food. Are you folks set to have a good time out there? Wait a minute, let's try that again. Are you folks set to have a good time out there? Yeah, that's what we like to hear. The 17th annual Twin Cities Marathon is on the way. Service sponsors including Ball Travel Service. Once again, thanks for joining.
Sissel Grotenberg, and at 10 there's a tie, Gar Drake and Bernadine Potensky.
And number 6 there, Gabriel Anderson. Many will remember her in the 1984 Olympic Games. She's the one that staggered into the finish after starting out a little bit fast. And that's kind of the picture a lot of the local runners get of marathoners coming in like that.
Okay. And Barry Brown, he holds the Masters record at 2:15:15. And we'll be back with a race update and the wheelchair winners after a word from our sponsors. The 1998 Twin Cities Marathon is brought to you by St. Paul Neighborhood Networks, along with contributions from Bremer, the Red Balloon Bookshop, Runner's Edge, Run and Fun, the St. Paul Hotel, St. Paul Arts Partnership, and Minnesota Wild NHL Hockey. Watching live coverage of the Twin Cities Marathon here on SPNN. I'm Mike Gady. Chris Harder is with me. And we've got some wheelchair folks coming through now. The last we heard, we were at mile 19. Oh, I see now we're at mile 20. And it looks like a time of about 1:42:39. And in the lead, we have number 101. And who is that? That's
Andrei Kusanov of Russia. He's a master runner as well, finished second overall in this year's Grandma's Marathon. And with the prize structure as it is, he can double dip today and earn Masters money and overall money and age group money. And
wow.
A lot of money take back to Russia.
A couple of $1,000 to come back.
Yeah.
Also in that group, Andrew Masuva.
He won last year. This is his third marathon this year, and that might be kind of difficult for him. He finished 5th at Houston and 4th at the Rock and Roll Marathon in San Diego. So this is his third marathon already this year.
How many marathons can you run a year if you're real good?
The elite runners tend to focus on 1 and maybe 2, but if they're really going for time and the prize money, usually 1, and then maybe run some 10Ks and other races. But for an average runner, they can run as many as their body can withstand.
What's the threshold on a time? If I was to run a marathon every weekend, would I be looking at about a 3-hour time, a general purpose?
Some that could run general purpose could go in anywhere from 3 to 4 hours, and those are the kind that might run one every month or something like that. But generally speaking, it takes such a toll on your body. There, you do hear some human interest stories where somebody can run a 3-hour marathon and run 10, 12 of them a year, but that's not often.
That's not often. And they spend most of their time training. The 10K becomes a training run for them then?
10K and some 5Ks, and eventually they'll run some half marathons as well, kind of taking the whole range of distances.
Okay. Well, the wheelchair winner of the winner coming across the line, we have some tape of that, I believe. And Rachel's standing by to talk to him. And here he comes, last year's winner, and Saul Mendoza from Mexico. And see if we have a time on that, but he's taking advantage.
It just slows down so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I'm just going to step over here and introduce our second place winner. Do you want to say your name again?
Krieger.
Griga. I was afraid I wasn't going to pronounce it right. And you're coming from South Africa, is that
Originally
correct?
South Africa, Cape Town, but I live in Atlanta now, yeah.
Okay. And I'm sure it really is difficult for you to adapt to this cold Minnesota weather too.
Yeah, well, I don't really know if you can get used to it, but yeah, you just have to go for it and have something warm on. I'm okay. I'm not that bad in cold weather, but I usually just put something warm on.
How did your time today compare to what you're used to running?
My time today was about, I think, 1:44, 1:45. It's a slow time compared to other races that's got less turns. There's a real lot of turns and a lot of wind in this race. But it's a good race for you know, to build up that side of your endurance again, because you need it sometimes. And but I'm happy with it. It was good.
Okay, I actually have a question for both of you here. Being winners in a race like this, you really are a mentor and a role model to a lot of people, a lot of other racers and a lot of young people. What do you do now to communicate to those people and to let them know that they can be winners too?
Well, as I say, especially in with the Sydney Games coming up, they say disabled kids need heroes too, and I think especially for that field we are, you know, helping out on that side of the sport again. So I feel we really do something for the disabled kids, and it's nice to, you know, to be involved.
Okay, thank you. And one last word from you. What do you do as a role model for young people and other racers?
Well, I just train as hard as I can, and I know that there's a lot of people out there that they are look at us, and is what I try to do. You know, every day, try to improve and do my best. So in that way, probably it can motivate a lot of people and give any different message every day.
Wonderful, thank you, and congratulations to both of you and all of the racers out here. We're going to throw it now back to you, Mike and Chris.
Thank you, Rachel. Yesterday, a 5K run, walk, a diaper dash, and a tot trot took place at this very spot, and Jay Cornelius was able to capture those events on tape. Let's take a look.
All 3-year-olds, please approach the starting line. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
that cute? You can't lose with kids. This is live coverage of the Twin Cities Marathon on SPNN. I'm Mike Gady, Chris Fuller along with us. Deb Waszak had a chance to meet the Bloom family. Let's hear their story. Deb?
Hey, I'm Deb Waszak. Today is running, and I'm standing here with the Bloom family. Runs together, has fun together, correct?
That's right.
And the Bloom family runs together the Twin Cities Marathon. I'm here with Dad Bloom. Why don't you tell us a little bit about when this all started to happen?
Oh, back in about 1986, I think that's when I finally got the urge to do some running, to lose some weight, and then that was my first marathon. And this will be my 8th.
Your 8th marathon. Who was the next Bloom to get involved with marathon running?
My oldest son here, Joel.
Okay. Joel? Hi. So you started running. When was your first marathon?
My first marathon was in 1987. It was the Grandma's Marathon in Duluth. But it was due to Dad kind of pulling me outside and saying, let's go for a run. And this coming up marathon will be my 21st.
Your 21st marathon? Now, do you have any kids that run the marathon too?
Not yet. I have a little boy that I push on my long runs. We just finished a couple weeks of 20-mile runs each, and it's a lot of fun. Hopefully, though, in the future, he will be with me.
Okay. Now, we have a Bloom here. This is her first marathon, right? Okay, what's your name?
Jane.
And how have you been training for this marathon? Do you train with your family or on your own?
Mostly on my own. I started with the girls, but schedules conflicted.
And how has your training been going? Has it been grueling or easy?
A little of both.
What are your expectations for this marathon?
Hopefully to finish. I'm gonna try and stay with Dad and see how it goes.
Okay. Now here, you two, there's a little competition between you two. Can you tell us who you are and what's this all about?
I'm Jody. Jeannie. And the competition is that. And I've been training longer, so I technically should be faster.
Okay.
However, with the training, I started to get a little farther ahead of her with time. When the Grandmas came along, we were neck and neck with each other all the way to the end. Actually, I snuck up on her twice and passed her, but she saw me, and then she had this guy run with her who was looking for me, and so every time I got close, they would like block me off, and we finished the Grandmas Marathon at the same minute and the same second. But she's ahead of me in the picture because when we got into the chute, she went like that, and I couldn't get around her.
But the great thing about it was we both ended with smiles on our face.
All right. Now, how did you get involved in all of this?
Oh, I've just been running since 6th grade, and I've been doing it primarily for health reasons. But I enjoy it, and I feel healthy, and that's primarily why I keep running.
And how many marathons is this for you?
This will be number 4.
Okay, and what are your expectations? What are your goals for this marathon?
Oh gosh, I just want to finish breathing.
Your old time.
Well, I don't know if I'll beat my old time, but we'll see.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We were talking to the Bloom family. This is the family that runs together, has fun together. I'm Deb Watt.
Thank you, Deb. Thank you, Deb. We hope to have another interview with the Bloom family later. We'll see if they all cross the finish line. Let's go up to Chris Fuller at the Cathedral now and see what's going on up there. Chris?
We're up here at the Cathedral, and you may hear the chiming in the backgrounds. That's one of the delightful sounds here in St. Paul on a Sunday. And we're talking to Jocko Curtin, who's one of the hundreds and hundreds of volunteers.
This is live coverage of the Twin Cities Marathon on SPNN. I'm Mike Gady, Chris Fuller with us. Let's take a look at where we're at right now, Chris. We're at mile 23, 158.39. Leader right now is still Andrew Masuva. And in second place, Andrei Kunetsov, and a little much further back. Is that much further back? Yeah, that'd be much further back is Sergei Meyer.
Interesting field at this point. Clearly, they're not going to set a world record, or world best, I should say. Ronaldo da Costa, Brazil, set that earlier this year at Berlin in 2:06.05, which is well under 5 minutes per mile.
Wow.
And a 2:11 marathon is about right around 5 minutes a mile, and it doesn't appear like they get that time either.
Okay. Is there a hill problem here with this race, or is this a flat race?
It's a pretty flat race. There's a change of elevation, as we mentioned earlier, right near University of St. Thomas. But for the most part, it's pretty flat. Coming down Summit Avenue, very flat. And, of course, the downhill coming down by the Cathedral, down John Ireland.
Okay. Elite group of female runners this year, too. Do you know any of those?
And the female runners, it seems like every year, the last few years, they've gotten a different group in from Russia, and it kind of, you know, who shows up. The field is not as deep as the men's field this year for a variety of reasons.
Now, Minnesotans or Americans in the elite group of female runners this year?
Yeah, Minnesota has well represented. There's 3 of them, Deb Gormley, Sharon Stubler, and Bev Doherty. And Bev Doherty, in fact, is also a master runner. She's turned 40, and she has qualified already for her 5th Olympic trials in the marathon. And they started, this would also be the 5th. She's been in every U.S. Olympic trials marathon, Bev Doherty. Coaches at Mounds Park Academy as well.
What is the time you need to qualify for the Olympics?
They have a different time standards for the men to make the Olympic trials. A 2:20 will get you a paid trip by USA Track and Field. At 2:22, you can get a qualifier, but you have to pay your own way on the men's side. Women's side, I believe it's right around 2:45 to qualify, and I believe 2:42 gets you an automatic trip, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Okay, so it's something that you and I can look forward to then.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Let's go down to Rachel. Hey, Rachel, where do these runners go when they cross the finish line?
Well, basically on a day like today, the first thing they're going to do is try to keep warm. If you're wondering what I'm wearing, it's not the latest fashion. It's called a Mylar blanket. And the runners and the wheelers are wrapped in this immediately after they come off the track, because when they stop running, they're going to cool down very rapidly. It's a very cold day, but even if it wasn't, they've got their circulation is going very at a high speed, and they're going to cool down quickly as soon as they stop. So they're wrapped in these, and you're going to see later there's going to be a sea of silver blankets along the finish line here. I'm going to take this off right now. Although it felt very warm, I kind of want to keep it on for a while. The elite runners that are going to be coming through first are going to come to the tent that's right behind me. This is right off to the side of the finish line. They have a luxury compared to a lot of the other runners who are in the open class. They get to come in this tent, and it is heated, which would feel really good about now. They can refuel, basically. There's yogurt, fruit, foods high in carbohydrates, lots of beverages, just so they can kind of refuel. There's a changing room. A lot of the elite runners are going to do press conferences and hopefully get interviews with me, and so they have a chance to compose themselves, change some clothing if they want. They even have a masseuse back here giving massages to people who have muscle cramps. A lot of the elite runners are in such good shape that it really doesn't take them very long to recover at all. So you're seeing people coming out of here quite quickly. Again, it's a different story for the open class runners. They're going to be further down past the finish line. They also are going to get the same kinds of accommodations. They just don't get the heated tent. And they can meet their family down there, hook up with people, and hopefully we'll bring some of their special stories to you too. Now, all the runners in this race who come across the finish line, do get a special t-shirt, and I'm going to show that to you. It's the official Twin Cities Marathon shirt. It's got the date on. In fact, these haven't even been unveiled yet. No one has seen these yet, so they're kind of keeping it a big secret. But now all of you watching live on Channel 35 get a chance to see this. This is the t-shirt that everyone gets. And people are very proud to wear these, of course, if they finish the 26 miles, which is a feat. So that's pretty much what happens to the runners once they finish the finish line, and that kind of explains why sometimes there's a delay before I can actually bring an interview to you, but I'll do the best I can. So I'm going to throw it back to you, Chris and Mike. I have one question for you guys, though, because I'm not always hearing what you're talking about. I understand that there has been a runner in the Masters division, the over 40 group, that has been off and on in the lead, and everyone's really surprised and excited about that. And I understand that if someone in the Masters division would win, that would really have an impact on the prize money, because they'd not only have the first place prize money, but also the Masters prize money. I'm just wondering if you guys have talked about that yet, or if there are any changes about who's in the lead. Chris, Mike?
I think that's worth going over again.
Okay.
Now let's go over the money structure again. You get $20,000, top male and female open division, and another $5,000 for the winner of the Masters division. Plus there's age money starting at the age 40 to 44 bracket and going on up. And at this time, Andrei Kushinov of Russia, you can double dip at the Twin Cities Marathon. Some places you can't do that. you can hear, and so he could pick up 25,000, and then some more for his age group yet as well. So it's a nice payday.
It is about $1,000 a mile. About what we're making.
About what we're making.
Yeah, that's right. We're at mile 24 now in the race. At that point, they were at 2 hours, 3 minutes, 49 seconds. And Kuchinov is still in the lead. One block, Masuva is in the lead, 1 block ahead of Kuchinov.
Yeah, it's quite a battle going on right now up front. And they're going in that slight headwind, but they're also picking up the pace. That last mile was just a little over 5 minutes. And so the pace is picking up. Obviously, those two feel very good. And despite going into the headwind, they've saved a lot. They've paced themselves well today.
Okay, well, we're at 206.35 with live coverage.
Let's go over the money structure again. You get $20,000, top male and female open division, and another $5,000 for the winner of the Masters division. Plus, there's age money starting at the age 40 to 44 bracket and going on up. And at this time, Andrei Kuchinov of Russia, you can double dip at the Twin Cities Marathon. Some places you can't do that. You can here, and so he could pick up 25,000, and then some more for his age group yet as well. So it's a nice payday.
It is about $1,000 a mile. About what we're making.
About what we're making.
Yeah, that's right. We're at mile 24 now in the race. At that point, they were at 2 hours, 3 minutes, 49 seconds. And Kuchinov is still in the lead. 1 block, Masuva is in the lead, 1 block ahead of Kuchinov.
Yeah, it's quite a battle going on right now up front. And they're going in that slight headwind, but they're also picking up the pace. That last mile was just a little over 5 minutes. And so the pace is picking up. Obviously, those two feel very good. And despite going into the headwind, they've saved a lot. They've paced themselves well today.
Okay, well, we're at 206.35 with live coverage.
They're coming. The first thing through is the squad car, and then some of the official vehicles, the official lead Volkswagen and the press bus. And it won't be much longer till the first runners come. The official vehicles have passed now, and here come the official bicyclists. Should be rounding the bend, and as I heard Chris say earlier, seeing that cathedral is a big boost for runners. They really know that they're near the finish. Not only that they're near the finish, that it's downhill to the finish, which is one of the beautiful things about the Twin Cities Marathon. They round the bend, they see the Capitol in front of them, and it's a big boost of energy. The crowds are just lining the streets as they come here. Even on a cool day like today, you're going to see lots of people out here, and it's a big boost for the runners as they come around the bend and head for the home stretch. And obviously today it's not going to be any sort of record time. The wind, no doubt, has been a big factor in slowing things down a little bit, but it doesn't take anything away from a great race. And here are the sirens coming in. As they get closer, we have... The leader is Andrew Musova, and he should be here shortly. Here come another wheeler, and we have the entourage, which always brings the lead runners in. He's got number 1 on for good reason today. Solidly in the lead and heading for the finish line.
Okay, we're looking straight up the street here, John Ireland Boulevard. Live coverage of the Twin Cities Marathon on SPNN. Mike Gady here with Chris Fuller. Chris, we're coming down the hill. Now it's exciting.
Yeah, Masova looks really good coming down here. He looks real comfortable. Clearly he's paced himself well, and it appears like he'll easily defend his championship from a year ago.
So he's going into a full-bore sprint now, or does he have to, depending on how close somebody is?
I think what he'll do is he'll look around, and he'll take it in about this pace, but there's really no need for him to get up on his toes and really sprint it home. He'll take a look. He knows he's clear, and you can see Andrei Kuchinov coming in, the master runner, it appears, coming in second. but that's a big gap at this time.
He's running for the cash now. Show me the money.
Show me the money. Be a nice payday. A lot of the Kenyans, they take residence up in the United States and then barnstorm, so to speak, run a lot of road races and some marathons and then take the money back home.
How does the prize money here stack up against other races?
Stacks up pretty well, but the major difference is Twin Cities Marathon does not offer appearance money, whereas somebody like Musava, he's got to earn his money here, whereas maybe in Chicago a runner can show up with a good reputation. He or she doesn't necessarily have to win to get a good payday.
And the crowd's bringing Musava in, and his time is hard to tell from our position right now. And here he comes across the finish line, breaking the tape, number 1. The last year's winner, Musava, and we'll get his official time for here, just like around 2:15, 20.
Just a little bit over 2:15, which is a good time on these conditions.
And here comes our master, and he's got some cash for him, and Kuchinov
there, so his time improvement today.
So he must like the weather too.
He doesn't mind the weather either. The Russians do pretty well here.
Okay. Mile 23, our lead women are coming in, and we don't know who they are, but the women are crossing mile 23 right now. They're running a pretty good pace.
Mike, we got our top American coming in. This is Gary Giffen of Brighton, Massachusetts. It appears like he'll get 4th. He's the top American.
He looked strong coming across.
Gary looked real strong. Made his marathon debut last year at Pittsburgh. He got 6th place. Last Monday, in fact, he ran 13th at the New Haven 20K. Ran a 1:01:58, which they say is equivalent to about a 2:17:45 marathon. He ran faster than that today.
So this is his first marathon. So he does
Second marathon.
Second marathon.
Yeah.
He does have a kick at the end. And there come another Kenyan.
That's Gideon Matusa. He trains out of Hartford, Connecticut. He's also from Kenya, 31 years old. And he's a regular. He placed 3rd this year at Houston and 12th at London. This is his 3rd marathon as well this year.
And you say that's about the maximum for the elite runners.
That's the absolute maximum, and actually for your world champion, Olympic type marathons, marathoners, you're looking at maybe 1 or 2.
Okay, here comes some more.
Jared Neese finishing up number 9 on your program. He was 7th last year in this race.
Says he's the nation's most prolific marathoner of the last 2 years.
That's what they say.
After training in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Now, as they finish now, will there be clumps? These runners are about the same. They're each trying to improve their time by a couple seconds.
Yeah, each of them are trying to improve their time, and you're going to see them come in individually as we see Daryl General, who is the 2nd fastest African-American ever. He's finishing up. He's been around for a few years. They'll come in 1, and there'll be a big gap, and then as you get to closer to 2.5 to 2:35 for the marathon, they'll start coming in about 10, 15 seconds apart, maybe some clumped up, and then as you get closer to 3 hours, 3.5 hours, they'll just be coming in streams.
Now, I've been watching the live finish on camera here. It doesn't look like any of these guys are sweating or tired at all.
It's kind of like Rachel mentioned, the elite runners actually can recover quicker than the other runners. They have more experience. They've put in a lot more preparation and training, and it appears that they don't really sprint into the finish. They're coming in pretty comfortable. This guy looks pretty comfortable too, coming in number 11, Rene Gian, and they do recover a lot quicker. They'll be in and out of that VIP tent pretty quick.
Another American coming across here. Yeah, they look amazingly strong.
Rene Gian trains out of Laredo, Texas.
So as the top 10, top 20 elite runners are coming in as expected.
Yeah, they're coming in. It's pretty much followed the form chart. Very slight surprise was Andrei Kusanov of Russia finishing 2nd. There was talk beforehand that Patrick Kiptum, a Kenyan trained out of Stillwater, Oklahoma, that although he had never run a marathon, many felt with his 1:01:54 half marathon that he might cause some trouble today.